Welcome back to the channel. We had a few audio problems in this episode, so bear with us and let's see how we get on. This is the old ship lift at Upware. This wasn't my best day for filming. I made all sorts of stupid mistakes. At times I forgot to switch on the microphones, then the microphones ran out of power, and finally I formatted a memory card and lost some footage. Making mistakes though is the best way to learn. This machine is working to rule and on a go slow. We're now at Wickham Fen, and this is run by the National Trust. We haven't made a booking, so we're just turning up on spec, and we'll see if they let us in. There were plenty of cars in the car park, and a couple ahead are just waiting to go in, so fingers crossed. So the microphones failed all the way around Wickham Fen. This lady was lovely, and she let us go in on spec, no problem at all. This is the last surviving example of one of many thousands of drainage wind pumps that we use to drain the fens. Every year, the National Trust stage Easter egg hunts for the kiddies. So Wickham Fen has woodland walks and boardwalks that take you through the marshes. Needless to say, it's very popular with birdwatchers. This is one of the oldest nature reserves in England, and it was the first reserve cared for by the National Trust in 1899.
Slow, don't hurry in.
Looks like we got some Easter bunnies here.
I hear them calling when it starts.
The boardwalk is easily wide enough for two people to stroll comfortably, but you don't want to step off the sides, as that looks pretty deep to me. There are several hides that you can use to just sit and watch the wildlife, but we didn't spot anything whilst we were here. During COVID, they're operating a one-way system, and basically it's a big loop that takes you all around the site. Now, as soon as I saw this, I thought of Sandy and his channel, the Wiltshire Man.
The old wind pump. Yeah, I'm a little bit sentimental, I think, when it comes to old things. I like the saying when they said it costs about the price of one horse, but it'll do the work of four. A bit of history, not that old history I suppose, but still a bit of history. I should imagine in that location there it would have been more to supply probably animal troughs more than anything, rather than irrigation.
I'll put a link in the description to the Wiltshire Man. Check him out, he does a wide variety of videos. Now this is a relatively new example of this type of pump, and there were thousands of these across the fens that were used to control the water levels. We've nearly completed the loop now, and just around the bend we caught sight of that old windmill again. From here is just a short stroll back to the visitor centre. This petrified tree was recovered from the fen. Time for some broccoli soup. Time to move on somewhere else now. It's so flat and open here. I bet it can get quite nasty if it starts snowing. This is the village of Soham. I've come here today intrigued by one of the biggest murder hunts in the history of England, I would suspect. I've worked on a number of murders in my time, and they're always a tragedy for the families involved, but this one gripped the nation for several weeks. In August 2002, two little girls, Holly and Jessica, were brutally murdered by a paedophile that worked at the local school. I bet you thought I'd added this music, but no, we were actually lucky enough to hear this person practicing the organ. In the church is a plaque that commemorates another disaster for the town, but this time during the war. On the 2nd of June 1944, a train carrying ammunition was passing through the town. A fire broke out in one of the carriages, and the train driver and his fireman both lost their lives trying to save the people in the town. The railway station was totally destroyed in the blast, and this memorial remembers their sacrifice. Just go whichever way you think it is, and it doesn't matter because it'll sort itself out. It's a bummer when you're coming out of a car park and the sat-nav doesn't show you which way you have to turn. It's a 50-50 bet, but this time we got it right. Up ahead is Ely Cathedral. We're not going there, but I want to try and get a better view of it. We're a bit too far away to do it justice, but a glimpse is better than nothing. Now our chip in the windscreen has not got any worse, and there's a Halfords up here, so we're going to call in there and see if they're able to repair it. At first they told me I needed to be booked in, but when I explained that we were travelling in the area, they had their man come out and take a look, but sadly he didn't show any confidence at all in being able to fix it, so I decided to give it a miss. There are some bumpy little roads up here, and I'm limited to no more than about 50 miles per hour otherwise it throws the van everywhere. Later that night, something awful happened, so I need to prepare you in advance. Very weak man because I've weakened. Oh, let's put a light on, shall we? Having a bit of curry tonight.
Chinese even.
Chinese
Curry. And I have kung po chicken.
And it's very tasty. So I'm going to have this, then I'm back on the keto. The white building is the house of ill repute that sold me the Chinese. And this little park is the very pleasant place where we ate it. We were going to spend the night here, and we were going to move off and then come back after dark. But we didn't actually end up here because we found a more convenient spot just around the corner. It's a bit chilly tonight, so we got the heater on. It's 9:16 p.m. and we're ready for bed. We're absolutely done in today, aren't we, Bunny?
I'm exhausted. I think it was all the fresh air we got.
Yeah.
We got a lot of fresh air walking around Wickham Fen.
Too righty.
And there was a really cold wind, wasn't there, when the wind was blowing?
Yeah. Do I look red to you? Well, that's because I am. There's something wrong with me. For the last few months, I've been getting these hot burning flushes on my face. And I come out in spots. Well, not spots really, more blisters of something. So I'm assuming it's some sort of allergy to something. Anyway, I'm booked in to see a doctor when we get back. So hopefully we can get to the bottom of this. Anyway, after that last clip in the van, we went to bed. Got up the following day and I took some shots of that park up. And then tragedy struck. I lost 38 clips by stupidly formatting a memory card. I just got distracted and formatted it without realising it hadn't been backed up first. So I've lost quite a chunk of that morning. We went to go outdoors and did quite a bit of shopping. I got myself a new pair of shoes and we got some new mugs for the van. Anyway, we'll pick the story up a little bit later. Peterborough today. Have a look at the cathedral and a walk around the city. The whole world's open and this is still locked. And it says we're open for private prayer. But it gives you no indication of how you get in or not. Makes my blood boil, really. They're supposed to be there for the people, aren't they? I understand the rules and the need for them when people congregate in enclosed spaces. But to lock off open areas of the church just seems crass to me. Okay, that's enough of that. Time to take my grumpy head off. It's an ornate little place in the middle, isn't it?
Marketplace, yeah.
Those burgers always smell so inviting.
Delicious, yeah.
This photo gives a better look at the front of this building. Nice spiral staircase. Check out the man on the roof. Now, we haven't been in a shopping arcade for quite some time, so we're going to go inside this one and take a look.
Oh, the queue to get into Primark.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
All you need is willpower, Ken. Willpower. We're hunting for a replacement towel holder, one that ideally you could just push the towel into.
The kitchen.
We couldn't find them, so we asked a member of the staff to give us some help. Sadly, they didn't have them, so I consoled myself by walking past the fast food stalls. This massive town hall, signifying much more prosperous times.
Oh, perfect, aren't they?
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give us a like and hit that subscribe button for more adventures from the Little Red Camper.